Good morning, everybody. Still getting everything lined up on my end. Remember, you do have the closed captioning if you are interested in turning that on your end, if you are live on Zoom. So we will talk about a few things here in a minute. I'm going to go warm up my coffee and rock and roll. Let me turn on my chat. Good morning, team. Good morning, sir. Over here. Actually, I'm going to move my chat over here. Good morning. All right, I'm going to warm up my coffee, guys and ladies, traders. I got to get more in the habit of saying traders. Morning, bouncers. Man, what an interesting overnight. Well, let me warm up my coffee. I'll be back, guys. We'll dig into it. We're going to see if we can make some money today. I had a nice 10-pointer this morning if you watched the AM briefing, so glad I took that. And we will wait for our next opportunity. All right, I apologize for that wait. Our coffee pot was empty and I had to crank up the old Keurig. All right, let's make sure my mic is on everywhere. Yes, it is. Very nice. There we go. Good morning. From the other side of the globe, good morning, Ron. I had a guy from Australia send me a message. He might be on YouTube. He gets the basic battle plan and wanted to know if it was worth upgrading to the Zoom since he's in Australia and it happens about 11:30 at night or 10:30 at night. And I'm like, man, I don't know the answer to that question. I would be too tired to trade that late at night, but you know, there's a lot of value in watching the price action and learning how we look at price action. My humble opinion, your mileage may vary. Well, let's do our daily reminders. First of all, stops are cost of doing business. It's just insurance. Take the L, move on, clear your mind, back up, look at the chart again with a fresh set of eyes. After a loss, you should always take a little break. If you enter another trade within 3 minutes or so, you're not trading according to your trade plan, I'm pretty sure. So, you know, take a loss, or if you take a stop, take a little break, go get you some water, whatever, come back, trade again. Remember, the goal is to stay alive to trade another day. You may not see price action clearly. There's going to be days I don't see the price action clearly. I've actually ended Zoom early once or twice last year where I went, I'm just not seeing this right, or I'm frustrated. It happens, and you're just not in line with the price action. And when that happens, you remove yourself from the chart, okay? So, because you want to stay alive another day. You don't want one stupid day to allow it to hurt yourself. You can't do that. Stops provide information. What is it telling you? Are you on the wrong side of price action? Did you take two trades in the same direction? They both got stopped out. You're probably on the wrong side of price action. So step back, analyze that again and go, am I fighting price action? Am I fighting trend? Am I in a bad trade location? Am I trying to short at the IB low or go long at the IB high? You know, I'm on the wrong side of price action. I'm on the wrong side of direction. I'm on the wrong side of structure. I'm on the wrong side of location. Correct. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. You just correct. You know, if you are on a sailboat and you're trying to go somewhere, you are going to make course corrections all the freaking time, right? You don't get pissed and say, screw it, I'm going to go that way.
Especially front sides.
No, you adjust your sails, you make the correction, and you continue the journey. Entry reminders. Is it a clean, clear, crisp level with fair value gaps? Has it been tested? Are you sure? Especially if it's a break level. Do I have a backup level? I love backup levels. I love if let's say you had a front side and a fair value gap with a strong level against the trend line at the bottom of the range. You know, these backup levels stack, and the more they stack, the more likely the trade's going to work in your favor. But once again, remember, as a professional trader, every entry is probabilistic. In other words, this trade might rip you a new one. So don't over leverage just because you've got a triple stacked backup level in the right trade location, because a tweet could happen at any time. A big whale around the world at any time could pull the trigger and hand you a new one. So you always have a stop in. But I do like the backup levels, and when they stack, it just gives you a little more confidence that maybe if they're stacking, what you do is, if it's not a touch and go, maybe you give it a little bit more time to work its way out. Okay. Not using the multiple backup levels as a way to over leverage. I think that's a really good way to say that. What is the distance of the ideal stop loss? Where's the trade idea wrong? And you get out. Because every trade can be a full loser. And really, that's kind of the mentality you want to go into every single trade with. This is probably going to be a full loser. And if I get a touch and go and it goes my way, cool. I'd rather you deal with that than this is the one going 100 points. And I'm going to do everything in the world to try to make that 100-pointer happen. Well, we don't know that for sure. Every trade is a flip coin. You have to know that. If you flip a coin 1,000 times, there's going to be 50 in a row heads, right? That's going to happen. So enough of that. Am I with trend? Am I a counter trend? Are we parabolic? Boy, that's a good one. It's been a while since we've really had a parabolic move. So we're going to look at the trend here in a minute. Does this entry deserve full risk, or should I dial it down? You can only trade one micro. You know, let's just say for a second you had 20 accounts with a company that lets you have 20 accounts. You just made, like I made that 10 pointer, you made $50. Well, what's 50 times 20? That's freaking good. What's $50 times 10? That's really good. What's $50 times 5? That's really good. That's what a school teacher makes working all day long. 5 accounts, $50. That's what they make working all day long. Trading can make you warped when it comes to money. Never ever just jump in and trade because you think or know have a hunch what price is going to do. You can't do that to yourself, because you start thinking you are the prognosticator, the predictor of price, and you know exactly what's going to happen. Good luck with that one. How many ladders is it taken to the downside? If I'm not in the second or third ladder, I'm usually not interested in shorting anymore. On the long side, it can ladder and ladder and ladder. Why? Because ES is a long-based instrument. We have something to our advantage. This thing tends to go to the north over time. That's to our advantage. Use it to your advantage. Don't fight it. All right. So you had the homework. Only one person did it. I know it's a holiday weekend, but thanks, Joe Anderson, for doing the Sunday homework and the Monday homework. So I posted my daily chart there. So I told you I would do that today, and I did that. So clear break of this trend line that we talked about on Sunday, where we talked about it had a bigger bounce than smaller. And the word I used, ES is very vulnerable here. Then of course you get a tariff tweet, and we drop like pretty decent. Now, one of the truths is no one's been able to sell a share of stock yet. This is just the futures. So this opening is going to be wild, maybe, you know, and maybe you give this thing an hour to work out, or you wait till this afternoon to even trade as recommended in the battle plan. Let this thing settle a little bit. You know, maybe you go in today, go like, I'm not trading today unless something just gets gorgeous. My platform's going to be closed. But whatever the scenario is. I also said on Friday, what does your trade plan say about trading the day after a bank holiday? And if your trade plan doesn't say anything about it, well, that was your weekend homework, is to come up with what that should be. So clear break of the trend line here. Let's come back here. Market's open. Don't care. I'm not trading right now. If we had to draw a trend line over all these sessions here, and these are all overnight sessions, forget that that's green. These are all overnight sessions. They all have the same value and weight, in my humble opinion. We got a nice little trend line right there, right? So that's the one we're going to use for right now. Let me turn on the strong levels, which had performed freaking beautifully, right? I mean, what a blessing. What a blessing. What a blessing. Thank you, Lord. And so here we go open. I'm on a 10-minute chart. There's nothing I'm really interested in the little gyrations. Now, if we take out up here, I'm really interested. Okay, if we get up here, I'm really interested, because this is where battle plan 1 would come into effect for a possible short. If we push to here and you wanted to take a possible short there against that level, that makes a lot of sense. Just have your stop on the other side, a comfortable distance. So if this thing pushes through to here and you are interested in a small short there, you could. Just realize you've got all these levels of liquidity, which are these really big magnets above your head. And you might go, nah, I'm not interested in that. Don't blame you. So thanks for joining me today on this high risk day of trading. If you were up and you could take that battle plan trade. That was beautiful. That was my 10 pointer there. I was long yesterday from 05 in this, and had to stop, and it got me and made smalls. So no big deal. All right, let's drop to a 1 minute chart. Let's look at the micro gyrations here. Let's go take a peek at everybody else. Is anybody doing anything fantastic? Not really. Not really. Russell's trying to get over its VWAP, grab its London high. Not a whole lot here I'm interested in. I'm just going to go back to a 3 minute chart here. Remember, this is the first time people's been able to sell stock or buy stock or whatnot. So let's let this thing settle out. We 99% of the days we'll never trade the first 6 minutes. We're still inside the first 6 minutes. What a beautiful wick. So remember, if you're watching on YouTube, the battle plan is complimentary every Monday night. Just sign up for it there at microstrader.com and click battle plan. Grab you a 7-day free trial. If you want to see how well we do this every day, go for it. So the overnight London on a 3 minute chart had a 15-point candle. Let's be mindful of that. I'm surprised the first candle today wasn't a 15-pointer. It was close. 13 and a half. The opening is holding right at the top of the strong level. We are all below. Longs or counter, small if at all, never making things worse. The strong range at the bottom has just done a tremendous job. Now the opening's doing a really good job. We go to a 30-minute chart just real quick. We can hang back. Did you watch the AM briefing, Joe? Okay. Yeah. So, man, that link you provided was fantastic on that. In fact, I'm going to pull that up. I think I'll share that in YouTube as well. Let's bring that up. So we'll keep an eye on that, right? We always appreciate reminders. Man, 13.5-point candle up, slam back down. That's 26 points of movement the first 3 minutes. And now we almost got the same thing. 14 points one way, and if it comes back, that's 28 points of movement the next 3 minute candle. Careful. Very dangerous price action. Personally, I'd prefer to come make a new low. That's what I would prefer. Let's get down there. I'm going to move this up to here. So we are all below. Nice red on all the text there. We are staying above the opening, but boy, that's really dangerous. There's just nothing I'm interested in here. I could see taking a speculative short against the strong level as a retap of the 2026 open area against the trend line. That would not be horrible. It'd be back testing the POC of all this. Surely that's where the POC exists. Here, let's just do it through there. Wow, no, more volume down here. Wow. All righty. Can it just do that? Nope, it doesn't. Okay, it takes into account all of it. Let's do this real quick because I actually want to go back to here. I want to get this. Yeah, that's what I thought. There's POC. There's POC for all of that. Let me change this. That would not be a shock of a retest area there. And is it at 10 or is it at a different time? 10 Eastern, I assume. Let me. Orders are at 9:30. Arguments are at 10. Opinions at 10. Wow, that didn't really show on the calendar. That's weird. That's very interesting. And now opinions show. Wow. That changed since I did the screenshot. So just to bring that up here. This was not there the last time I screenshotted it. So that's at the top of the hour in 20 minutes. So let's put on our countdown timer here. Just to keep this forefront in our head. I don't think anybody needs to see that. I'm going to put that up here. I think if you're on YouTube, you're listening. So let's move this to here. It is scandalous the way the PIO, Public Information Office of SCOTUS, operates. I will say it's been very difficult to understand it. It's not something I've really paid attention to. We don't often get Supreme Court decisions that affect our trading. So this has been a new education. So I appreciate it. So we're still in the realm where longs are counter, small if at all, never making things worse. See money, take money if you're going long. Okay. I'm going to take off some of this. I'm going to clean up the chart. I'm going to say
no level, no trade, period. Make price come to you. No prediction trading. What are the break levels telling you?
So I'm going to put that Sunday through Monday POC. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm just going to lock it so it's there, but I don't need the line. Look at that. Shoo. I mean, you're getting 10 points up, 10 points down, 13 points up, 13 points down. Bring your hard hats. I think that was the right way to say that, right? So if you didn't watch the AM briefing, we talked about the battle plan trades. Very good, in my opinion. If you didn't watch it, worthy of your time to do that. I just know to do nothing right now. That's the only thing I know. Do nothing. Wait for something new. I mean, at this point, it's not like everybody's dumping. If immediately we would have pushed down and took out the overnight low, that's a problem. But we're staying at the upper distribution of the London session. Not horrible. Doesn't mean go long either. You know, if we were to push down and take out these lows here, you know, somewhere between here and here, we got back above, I'd probably play that. I don't even care if it takes the low. In fact, I would prefer it not to take the low. So we have all these highs up here. I can't say the bulls are holding their own. I'm just going to say the bears aren't compounding the down move. Wow, top of the hour. I'm excited. Hey, Don from Australia, are you watching on YouTube out of curiosity? It is interesting that we are up from the opening and all the leaderboard companies are red. Certainly mixed signals, right? I don't like trading in this type of candles here. I just don't need to, don't have to. Give me something juicy. Give me a big fat pitch. We're at a healthy 6.7. We're just not going anywhere, doing anything, and the market is literally on hold. Good time to go refresh your beverage, George. Just out of curiosity, why do you consider 3? Because all of my tracking of our core strategy trades are off the 3-minute chart. It gives you enough trades in a day to be worth doing, and the success rate is phenomenal. So the 3-minute chart will yield 2 to 12 trades a day. And the success rate is just fantastic on the 3-minute chart. So that's why I consider it my home base chart. Great question. Does that make sense? If the 15-second chart worked best, we'd be on the 15-second chart. you know, I find that it's a good balance between having enough trades and with a success rate that is, that I think would work for the average trader. You know, but as we did on the Sunday homework, I said, hey, what was the best 30-minute front sides for the week? And they both went 70 to 80 points. How many of those a week do you need? Which, since we're here, let's go ahead and talk about the 30-minute chart for a second. You do have an indicator called the 30-minute candle. Okay. And what it does is it overlays the 30-minute chart over your candles. Okay. So I can look at these, and it does it in red and green. So I can see all my 30-minute levels here. The brown shaded area tells me it's a 30-minute fair value gap. I used this way more back in the day, and every time I talk about it, I'm like, I should have this on more often. I should be looking at this more often so I can immediately see I got a front side and a fair value gap here. I got a front side and a fair value gap here. That's valuable information without having to flip over to my 30-minute chart and look at that. Does that make sense? So that's a neat little indicator. And it's like I said, the 30-minute candle. I had originally put it on here to show one-time framing. You can turn on the one-time framing and see the green dots. It's telling you on a 30-minute chart is one time framing up, if you're familiar with market profile. So that's originally why I started doing this. You can also make it a full candles if you wanted to make them full candles. I don't like that as much, but boy, if you're really wanting to see it better, you can do that. You can turn on those candles. You can also change how bright these things are. You know, with these here, you have to play with these. I forget exactly which is which, but I like the skinnier candles, I think. Yeah, I think I like the skinnier candles. But neat way to see the 30-minute chart real quick. In fact, I'm just going to keep it on for a little bit. I'm going to force myself to. All right, let's turn back on the strong levels. Still large candles, 12 minutes to some SCOTUS stuff. We'll just hang out, and if for some reason we get good opportunities, I don't mind trading all day today. Depends on the behavior of the price action. Sometimes it's too big of a beast to try to wrestle. Which probably means what, Caleb? We go straight up? Yeah, I don't know, man. Pretty wild. I think they rule in favor of him. I'm going to say the presidency. I'm not going to say Trump. I think they're going to rule in favor of the presidency. They have a very big job to do here. Good morning, team. Good morning, Andrew. But I have no clue. So let's do this. Let's back out a little bit. Let me turn off the 30-minute chart because I'm not interested in trading inside of here. So I don't really care about the 30-minute chart right now. Let's bring up our battle plan. Actually, I want to bring up number 5. Number 5 has us coming down into here. So if we get some sort of move down into this strong range here, you know, one of the things I love about our strong levels is they're really good for a reclaim retest trades. So even if we push further down, but we get up over this strong level, I'm interested. I also wanted to point out one thing in the AM briefing. I forgot to. So while we're here, I want you to notice how many strong levels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strong levels. Typically, we find in a typical down move type of day, and I consider all of this one day, you get 5 strong level moves. And we're about at the 5 strong level moves. That doesn't mean it can't go 12 or 20. But if we were to put them on a bell curve distribution, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 to 5 is what we get. So I wanted to point that out again. Absolutely nothing to do but enjoy your beverage. You know, the uncertainty around the world right now is just so high. You could see anything just making this thing. That's why I said the ES was vulnerable. You know, we got Greenland, we got Iran, we got Trump traveling to The World Economic Forum conference thing. SCOTUS. Fed chair getting subpoenas. People apparently able to now ransack churches during live services. And all kinds of just... Wow, it feels just... the uncertainty. I mean, it just feels like things could get really bad really fast. That's how it feels to me personally. So we have to be on our guard. Put on the full armor of God, my friend. Put on the full armor of God. That's what I should have. You know what? I think for the rest of the week, I'm going to change the scripture. I think we're going to go back and I think I'm going to do the full armor of God for the scripture for the week. I feel that. I'm reading a wonderful little book, just to talk about a side note. I'm going to share it with you. It is so fantastic. From an old dead guy. And it is so good. Here, I'm going to screenshot this and bring it over here. Oh, that might be too big. Let's see if it's too big. It is too big. Let's just bring it here. It's 99 cents if you do Kindle. I bought the paperback. Oh my goodness. Come on. There we go. By Andrew Murray, and it's called Humility. And it walks through and breaks down the humility of Christ and the type of humility that we should have, how to combat pride. Really, it's a little book. It's 112 pages. Each night when I lay in bed, I'll read another chapter, and then I'm going to go back and reread it again and underline it. It's so good. And very soon I'm going to be releasing a video. Might be the most important video of the year. I've done lots of research. There's a few more things I want to include, so I haven't done it yet.
Bigger picture, single prints, ranges.
The power of prayer and fasting. And I want to arrange this in just a wonderful series, and that of how this could be just so beneficial for traders as well. So that's coming. I've alluded to it a few times, but that Andrew Murray book is fantastic. Humility, 99 cents on Kindle. if you do Kindle. Oh, the hardcover was only $3 more. I should have done the hardcover. Oh, just noticed that. By Andrew Murray. I would have never imagined this 20 years ago.
Workout. Get up.
Crazy. I'm not sure what it is, but I think something really, really good for all of humanity is about to happen soon. Brian, on Tuesdays, my wife and I pray for specific things each day of the week. And on Tuesdays, we pray, it seems way bigger than me, but we pray for the world. We pray for Israel. We pray for the United States. We pray that our leaders are governing in the fear of God. I feel it's too big for me to pray for, but yeah, you have to, right? 3 minutes till we kind of maybe get some headwinds here, or little alert of SCOTUS. Let me go back to, I shared the link on YouTube there, guys. If you don't see it, I'll share it inside the group again. This is Joe Anderson turned us on to this. We appreciate that, Joe. Beautiful share. You'll see a little scrolling live chat box there. It's really good. Let me share it again on YouTube, just so everybody has it. I think it should be in your list of websites. So yeah, we're not trying to trade this at all. If we push down there to battle plan 5, and we reclaim some strongs, that will interest me. If we do a big vomit, my first area of interest is down here at 67.80. I don't want to put a magnet there, but 67.80 would be the next big spot I would be interested in. I had battle plan 6 for down here, but the chart was getting too much, so I figured 5 battle plan trades was good. It's time the Supreme Court put this to bed. The other place I'm interested in is up here at the bull bear line. Very interested to see what happens if we get up here. As you'll know, that's battle plan 1. So we talked about it last week, but I'm going to go ahead and mention it here again. On the strong levels, if you don't like those words where they're at, I have them 50 candles out. I mean, if you want to move those things out, let's say 200 candles, it'll move them over to the side more. Okay. So the label offset here will move those words off to the side. Chad in general. So Chad asked, George, I noticed you referenced Thursday battle plan in one of your recent posts. Previous week's battle plans may still be eligible to be in play at all times. Is that right? As long as the narrative hasn't changed. So Thursday had some deeper battle plan trades than I had posted. Price getting a little excited here. So as long as the narrative hasn't changed too much, it's certainly a place to look to see what price is going to do. Does that make sense? So it allows you to pull back a little bit. And like right now, we're battling up in here. This next trade's, 50 to 70 points away. That gives a wonderful place. Whenever I say I want something new, would 50 to 70 points away be something new? Yeah, I think so. So that's how I look at it. As long as something hasn't dramatically changed. Yeah, I think it works. All right, if anybody sees any news that they need to share about the SCOTUS. All right, so the person in charge of this blog, Amy, is went in. Somebody said I'm dreading and excited for this. Me too. I would say that. Man, I wouldn't want to be in the law profession for anything. So first opinion is out. Burke versus Choi, I guess. The vote is unanimous, although Jackson concurs in the judgment. Very fast price action here. I'm not going to read all that. That's probably why I couldn't pass law school. Like, I'm not reading all that. Although I can't imagine the paralegal profession will be a profession any longer with AI. I could be wrong. I remember when I was in high school, to be a paralegal was a pretty darn good choice as a career choice. All right, back to the strong level, and the note I made on the strong level is careful with longs below. So, just one trader's opinion. While we wait for number 2. Man, the bottom of this strong range has really been a good level. Here at the 67, just been a phenomenal level. All right, so as I said, my first set of eyeballs is us coming in here. Second set would be here. If we shoot straight up, I'm not really interested in shorting. But if it made it to here and gave me evidence that that's what I should be doing, I will. The tariff decision is jammed in the photocopier. Boy, if you didn't hop on Zoom to 30 minutes after the opening, it's a good move. You know, the battle plan was the big winner last week. By the way, do you like the scoreboard on the battle plan? You know, it's just as a way to kind of, hey, how successful is the battle plan this week versus if we called out any additional trades on Zoom versus just core strategy. I thought I would test it for a week or two, and if it's a pain to keep up with, I'm not going to do it, but I kind of like the scoreboard. The battle plans just crushed last week. All right, next up is Ellenberg versus the U.S. The vote was unanimous. Yeah, I'm not going to read all that. Nice bounce off the bottom of the strong level. My goodness. Under normal conditions, I would have probably taken that long, small. This is not normal conditions. Well, one thing about it, if the decisions today, the Supreme Court ran a tight ship with no leaks, in my humble opinion. The Eighth Circuit held that restitution under the MVRA is not criminal punishment, but the Supreme Court reversed that. I don't really know what that means, but it seems like a pretty big decision. Mandatory Victims Restitution Act. How many opinions do they typically release in a opinions thing? Uh-oh, Price getting excited. Looks like when ES looks like NQ on the DOM, you know there's something going on. Third and final decision. So no tariff decision today. No relief from the anxiety of not having a decision. Coney Island versus Burton. All right. So I think the next opinion day is quite a ways off. But then again, they added this opinion day here recently, so maybe not. Something we'll keep an eye on. All right, guys, back to normal trading. Oh, that was just painful. Painful. All right. So we need something new now. At least let's come and grab these lows here. See what we're going to do. See what happens. I don't know. All right. I'm done looking at that. All right. I'd like it to come down 57 or so. Pop back up into the strong range. All right. Push on down to 57. 57 to 52. Let's see what we do in there. And then if it wants to come further down, come on down to Battle Plan 5. Man, I can't believe there wasn't a decision today. Oh well. Back to the drawing board. Fly your airplane. It is the day after a long weekend. The day after a big gap after a long weekend. So.
No level, no trade, period. Make price come to you. No prediction trading. What are the break levels telling you?
If you're using our journaling software, today's a special day to mark on there the day after a holiday. Or it says day after a bank holiday. I forget what I called it. If it's not there, you of course you have the option of adding it. And then, you know, a year from now, you'll be able to go back and look at all the days that was the day after a bank holiday. And you might decide in your trade plan, you don't even look at the chart the day after a bank holiday, which is probably the decision you would end up ultimately coming up to. Bottom of this strong range is just doing so good. Drop to a 1 minute chart here. Like I said, 57 to 52. I would like it to dip down into there and let's see what happens. I really wouldn't want it to just go up from here. It doesn't give me much. But 57 to 52, pop back up would. You only need one good trade. For those who might have came in later, I actually took the long here and exited somewhere here for 10 pointer. We are on a 1 minute chart here. I'm wanting to see dip down and watch for it's getting close to man your battle station. Certainly not the easiest price action to trade. Small RTH first 30 minutes or so here, 45 minutes, mainly because we're waiting for SCOTUS. No decision. What is price action going to do now? Well, think about it. They don't seem to be pushing it down, do they? So top of the strong range is about 72. If we clear it really strong, you want to take a 72 long off of that, but you want to clear it, and it's counter. Small longs are counter. And it's real difficult to want to short when you're already down 1.5%. That doesn't make a lot of sense either, my humble opinion. So we'll see what happens. Doesn't seem to be a whole lot of selling or a whole lot of buying. And Bitcoin's back down to 90,000. Let's go take a peek at Bitcoin here. I'm looking to see if it gets here. And geez, silver. All right, to the top of the strong range. So we've been ping-ponging here for a little bit. Nice ping-pong in here. Resolved to the north. Notice it resolved it, back tested it, and there's the move. That's why I said if this thing can push through, you wanted to take a small long off of this. They don't seem to be able to push it down anymore, so we've got to be careful. But longs are counter, small if at all, never making things worse. And whatever lives here at the bottom of the strong range has just done a phenomenal job. Drop the 30-second chart. Man, just not a whole lot here to lean your hat on, that's for sure. Remember, we are under the yearly open. We are under the bull bear line. Bears have control. It's their show. What do they want to do? The strong range has just been the magnet all night and all day. Preponderance of the day has been above the strong range. Can't clear it. Can't clear it. Come on, you need a big white candle here is what you need. You need a candle that goes... You need a candle like this. Like, just push it up there really hard. There we go. We finally closed above it. If you're long, move your stop to a paper cut stop. Longs are counter, small if at all, never making things worse. Maybe we can stay on top of this strong range. Underneath it, you really want to be out. We'll see what happens. Yeah, up 5 points. You just can't let that become a loser, in my humble opinion. All right, let's see if this thing wants to push down to 57 to 52. If it does, we'll watch for the reaction. Jeez. Back to 3-minute chart. We are just at the magnet of the day, it seems like.
Bigger picture, single prints, ranges.
A battle here, my goodness. I'm flat. I'm just waiting for something now. $57 to $52 would be a nice little push down. And then a jump back up. Are we going to finally clear this strong range? They're doing the work. Nice push. Nice push. If you held through all that, I would definitely now move your stop to break even. Go hands free. There's the big candle. There's the big candle. When you are longing, when the bears control, it double, triple taps. It's a beating. But then when it goes so beautiful. This is giving us exactly what we thought, right? It really is going to be dangerous price action. Bring your hard hat. It just is what it is. I wish it had dipped down more, but it's okay. So if you took 72 and you took some heat there, you can now lock in your 10 pointer and just be a happy camper. And if 10 is what you make, it's a beautiful day. All right, now we're back to this strong level. It's been tapped multiple times. If we clear that, we might start taking some of these pools of liquidity. You got big magnets above your head. Bears couldn't push it down underneath this strong range, which is interesting. Are they going to give it up? Nice, Roger. Beautiful, dude. And then you got that beautiful move there. That is so beautiful on the DOM when it does that. Yep, locking your 10 pointer is awesome. If we can clear this strong level here, man, this could be your phenomenal. Nice job, man. Nice entry, nice hold. All right, let's see if we can clear this. We got lots of magnets above our head. First one would be making it to the POC from Sunday to Monday at 01.
Am I biased? Am I following price or fighting price?
That'd give you a 20 pointer from here if you withstood this heat. Ideal stop loss is where? It's under the low. And now let's see if it wants to run up here. Giving you a 20 pointer. Longs or counter, small if at all, never making things worse. See money, take money. Even if you just have one contract, you need to take part of this. Don't think this is the 100-point move. It could be. What do I know? But know the environment you're trading in. When you have these strong ranges, often if you're wanting to trade long, trading 50% of it is kind of a greedy entry. The greedier would be the bottom, right? And if you're got a strong range and you're wanting to trade short, when price was down here and it came back up in, you could trade the edge, trade the middle, or you could trade the upper edge. And those middle trades are often really good. So I was up 10 points plus a little bit from last night. So I played a little aggressive here. When we cleared this, what did I do? I took a long right there. Boom. So I'm long for that. And I am going to keep it at one tick as a lotto runner. If it comes back and gets me, I don't care because I've already made my day. So I'm going to treat this like a lotto runner. Otherwise, longs are counter, small if at all, never making things worse. And
stretch, workout, get up.
See money, take money. Actually, you are at a 20 pointer. It'd be a 30 pointer if we make it up there to the next strong level. So now nothing to do but hold on. And I'm going to treat this like my lotto runner. So I'm not going to capture part of the move. I'm going to just keep it here and let price go. Nice job, guys and ladies. Oh, come on. Big white candle. Very nice. Very nice. You only need one good trade. We got it. If you held there. And once again, if it clears a strong and That's often a really good trade you can take as well. It's a little more aggressive. I'm not going to call that one out because that has you going long in the top of the upper distribution of the day's range. But what did we have above our heads? All of these untouched magnets here. And if it runs to those, it's going to be a beautiful trade. Are you smiling there, Mr. Roger? I think if it touches this strong, Mr. Roger, if you wanted to move your stop to the 20, capture your 20, but let it try to get there, because maybe it'll touch the strong level, kind of back test this trend line and maybe push over it. But I'd capture the 20 if it gets up there a little bit more. That's a nice day. And anybody else, if you're long from down in here and you held better and you held through that, you're looking really good. You're looking good, my friends. Unfortunately, my long is a little later. Nice job, James. Remember, it's the day after holiday. We had a big gap down. We had no SCOTUS decision. Every trade is dangerous. Longs are counter, small if at all. Jackie, what I did on that entry here, let me make this what I did is when I went long here, had this fair value gap here, I was going to allow price to tag that fair value gap and get back up, so my stop was underneath there, is how I did it. That way, if it wanted to fill that fair value gap, I was going to let it and keep my stop here. But underneath there, I don't care. I don't want it to fill that fair. I do not want it to fill that fair value gap. So coming against the trend line, that might be all we do. That could be it. We're on the right side of this deal. Nice job. We got three big things. We got the trend line, we got the POC from Sunday to Monday, and then the strong level. If we can get above it, woo, that could be fun. If price turns around into here, we can't be shocked. Can't be shocked. We're counter, and it seems like at some point in here, the bears might get activated. But maybe that won't happen up here. And by then, this has moved so much, that could ignite short covering to a beautiful degree. All right, I'm hitting my second 10-pointer today here, if I wanted to grab that. All right, beautiful, beautiful. Come on, pop it, pop it. Let's go. Come on. All right, Mr. Rogers, since we're touching that trend line, I don't know. I think I want you to go ahead and move your stop and capture your 20 pointer, because we are certainly hitting an area where price could bounce back down. I don't know if it's worth giving up 10 points. Go ahead and move your stop to a 20 pointer. And then don't move it again. Like, that's a wonderful day, because if this thing does short cover, you're going to be in a phenomenal trade. My data shows whenever George says, come on, the move goes another 5 points. All right, that's fun. So you had a couple opportunities there, not just the most amazing things that you'll ever look back and go, why didn't I do that? You had to take back and forth here, back and forth here. Where's ideal stop loss? Ideal stop loss is under the low. We talked earlier that one of the nice things about the strong levels is when they reclaim them, you can look to use them as a point to get into a trade. Not my favorite place to go long, towards the top of, but this was, you almost can't count this price action in a way. This is waiting for SCOTUS action, right? So you're at 30 points now. That's nice. Nice job, guys. You made your day. You don't need any more green over greed when we're done with this morning's session. Please don't trade again. Enjoy your day. And we'll check back in later. We'll see what happens. Just because we are moving up now doesn't mean we don't make a new low today. I think, man, do I want to go ahead and just, I think I'm going to go ahead and capture my 10 pointer. That'll be 2 10 pointers today. That's a good day. And maybe we'll blow the top off this strong level here. The goal would be to push through that strong level like it's not even there. Do not bounce off of it, please. Just go. Just go. Come on, get up there. And this is what we do, guys. This is what we do. Well, where would we put a magnet? No. It's pushing this trend line, right? So ideally what we'd like to see, it pops that in one candle. Would be great. But then back test this to maybe here, and it gets back and goes. And for me, that magnet's going to be the Sunday opening is going to be the next important level here. I think that's the Sunday opening. You know, yeah, that's the Sunday opening. Nothing to do now, but do nothing. If you were one of the ones in the group that got long here, you are really looking good. I'd go ahead and lock a 20 pointer in my humble opinion. If you did the 3 contract system, keep one underneath this strong level. Come on, pop it. So there's the Sunday opening, just for the reference. Nice, nice, nice. Beautiful. If you're long, you want to try to stay long, but we are certainly at an area that price could easily push back in with big down candles. So have your stop in, please. Make sure you capture part of this move. And I'm out. So let's 2 10-pointers. I'm happy with it. It came back in and tagged up with the POC from Sunday, which we said totally would be in line with what price should do. Testing this trend line. We'll see if it wants to get underneath here. So I'll tell you what I'd look for here. If price slammed through this level, I mean slammed, I would take this short. But it would need to slam it without pausing. But if you're long, try to stay long. Make sure you're capturing part of the move. I'd recommend make sure you're capturing either a 10 or a 20 pointer. And you're actually at a 30 pointer if you went, I'm out. Exit. Nothing wrong with that either. The only thing I would tell you to do if you chose exit all right now and captured your 30 pointer would be to continually mentally trade it as if you didn't do that. Because we're certainly had a beautiful move out of this strong range here that was just incredible. Strong move, fair value gapping, fair value gapping. No more fair value gaps. Why? Well, we're coming into this area here. We expect that. Nice trading, guys. So 12 minutes here at this level against the trend line, against the POC for the last, Sunday and Monday. It's a perfect place for price to come back in. If we can clear this strong level, this might be another entry for you. It could be an add-on. So let's say it doesn't get you out at your 20 pointer. Okay. It doesn't get you out. It's just going to hang here for a minute. Pop above this strong level. Add here. Add on the retouch of this strong level. Add to your trade. I don't think you can add yet. If this thing pushed in, don't add here. No.
No level, no trade, period. Make price come to you. No prediction trading. What are the break levels telling you?
We wanted to be long coming into it. And now it's completely out of our hands. If you're long, you want it to clear this and maybe look to add to your trade here. Seems to me it's going to resolve to the north, but what do I know? Maybe that thing will push down to like 92.50 and pop off of that area. About your 30 pointer. Sunday would almost, the Sunday opening be almost a 50 pointer. That's really nice. Looks like it's resolving to the north here. You want it to rip the strong level like it's not even there now. Beautiful. Come on, push through it. If you're long, try to stay long. Have your stop at about a 20 pointer there. Let price do what it's going to do. As I said, you could capture a 30 here. Nothing wrong with that. If we can get above this strong level, though, man, you might want to just close down your platform and go to the grocery store. If we can clear this strong level and we make it to the next strong, that's another 30 points from there, if we can clear it. Nothing to do now but the holding. Nice trade, nice trade. Stop should be at a 20 pointer. And if you did the 3 contract system, then I would have that third contract like a 10 pointer. At this point, longs are still counter. So we're counter on this, but doesn't mean you can't make good money. Wants me to go ahead and schedule tomorrow's AM briefing.
Bigger picture, single prints, ranges.
Quite a bit of time here. Quite a bit of time here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 18 minutes. Against the trend line, the Sunday through Monday POC. Would not be shocked if we came back through and made a new low. "13 minutes to the top of the hour. right, let's see what it wants to do about this 92.50. We're going to use Roger's entry at 91. Your stop would be at 71. Your stop would be at 91, capturing 20. If that's how you want to play it. It's just one trader's opinion. If you did 72 long, your stop would be 92. Be real curious to see what's going to happen here around this 92.50 level. And as I said, if we slam through, doesn't look like it's going to slam through, but if it slammed through, I might be interested in this short. But otherwise, I'd prefer it to bounce here. I'd rather do this. This would be easier to trade. That's what I'd like. But we are against this trend line. So not shocking that we're pushing back in here. All right.
Stop trading in 10 minutes. Only trade your best trading hours. Take a break. Walk away. Be done. Be content. Adjust afternoon risk settings.
All right. So if it's at your stop's at 92 or 91, it is what it is. Beautiful trade. We never know how far price is going to go. We know longs are counter. Small let it fall, see money, take money, and capture part of the move. You certainly don't want to get stubborn headed on longs at this point. So let's play this smart. And if it gets us out at the 91, I'm going to see what happens at the strong level. So this is just an area that I would not be surprised if price pulled back to here and then made a new high. But we are against the trend line. Very tough place. But that would be the ideal scenario. The ideal scenario is it doesn't get under this strong. The ideal scenario is that right here about this 92 level, it gets back up. But bulls do not control. So bulls don't have a whole lot of say-so here. So there you go. Nice trading, guys. Nice trading. You only need one good trade. You got that one good trade, and that worked out beautifully. And we got this strong level here. And it's a 3-minute backside, right? Now, where's your ideal stop loss on that? Well, I don't know. That's mighty big. Nice, Roger. Congratulations. Nice job. As we said, there's nothing wrong if someone said, I want to snag my 30. But if we could have cleared it, you might have had a 100-pointer on your hands. What do we know? But at least we captured part of the move very strategically. And I think that worked out beautifully. As I said, if this thing rips this, I could be interested in a possible short here. Why? Because bears control. Coming off the trend line. Duh. Tagging up with the POC. I mean, this is just TA 101 in my opinion. What do I know? Just one man's opinion. Nice strong levels though, right? Nice bounce. Of course, this bounce almost made it to there. And looks like it might be bouncing here as well. If you took that backside, either move your stop to break even or just under. We'll go to a 1 minute chart here. Bulls are trying to wrestle control. Well, one thing about it, we didn't rip that. If it came in, I wanted it to rip it. And now price is just so slow. All right. Are the bears going to pile on here? All right, very important here, man. I feel like we get below here, we're probably going to make a new low. What do I know? Bulls really want to respond here, my opinion, but bears control. If you're a bear, you want to see a big blue candle now. Rip back through this level.
Stretch. Workout. Get up.
Nice job for the traders who TP'd and already out. You have a lotto runner at 10 points. I'm hoping for you. We'll see if this strong level defends price to the north or to the south. All right, seems like if the bears are going to do something, it's right here. It's right here. They really need to get it back under the strong level. Like, okay, bulls, you had your little fun. You made your little 20-pointer. Congratulations. now let's put the hurt on. I can't long right there. In fact, I'm doing nothing unless it slams this strong level. Then I might be interested in something, but it's right where the bulls need to defend, and it's right where the bears have got to push, one way or the other way. Positionally, it is real difficult when we bounce off of a clear identifiable trend line to take the first long. That is real difficult. So, you know, I wanted to bounce off there in one respect because it's a strong level, but, you know, bouncing off a trend line is real tough to take that long right there against it. Because basically you're saying it's going to break out. Well, good luck with that. That's a tough trade to want to take. I mean, I'd rather, if you were to take something, you know, a short between 95 and 96, you know, just because it's bouncing off that trend line and bears control. But what a beautiful bounce off the strong level, right? Are the bears gonna, they gotta go here, you would think. They really don't want to get back above this trend line. We'll see what happens. Yeah, this just is too difficult of a long to take against that trend line. It just is. I got nothing. Remember, green over greed. You don't need more. I know we're rounding here at the top of the hour. I just want to see if this thing is going to push under the strong level. Bears control, so you can't be shocked if they do. And the bulls, bears don't want it to get above here. They just, that's where they got to defend. They got to push it down here. Bears control, longs are counter, small if at all. As I said, I would rather not take this long here. I'd rather short there just because of the trend line. And when they bounce off a trend line, I don't like to take that first counter. And then most of the time, it's the opposite. The trend line is going this way, right? Price comes to it and it bounces up. You don't want to short that. So let's see if they can push down. It's beautiful. This is kind of, to me, the bull bear line for the day. If we do that, it'd be fun to go make a new low. So if you're short, try to stay short and see if we can push through this strong level. You know, I think I've named this pretty well. Careful with longs below. If we get back underneath that and all these guys give it up, that could be a strong move. Could be a strong move. What do I know? Come on, push it down. If you're still long, I'm not cheering against you. But at this point, we made it to our destination, which was Sunday through Monday's POC, against the trend line. Bears control, so it would not be a shock we do this. So if you're short, try to stay short. So 95, 96, 97 in there was not a bad location to get short. You got front side, fair value gap, trend line, bears control. And if we can't break the strong level, that's not a shock. So we'll see. If we make it back to the trend line, I'll be done. I'm going to take my break. Be happy with today's results. Come back and look at it later with a fresh set of eyes. Oh, bears. Come on. You disappoint. See, I really wanted to leave that fair value gap there. The bears can't even leave a fair value gap right now. It came all the way back to here to take back this fair value gap. And now it came all the way back to here to take out this fair value gap. A double bounce off the strong level. My goodness. on, push down. Do something exciting. Once again, the RTH is much more bullish than the overnight. I mean, look at this RTH here, as we discussed in the AM briefing. And so far, look at this RTH. Well, I think I'm about dead, guys. I think I'm gonna call it. So, hey, great trading. Couple great entries. Should be green on the day. Green over greed. You don't need any more trades. We'll check in later this afternoon and see what is cooking.